when it comes to QCs, there are two parts, right? There is the configuration, and then there are the actual results coming in. I'm gonna talk about what happens when the results come in. The configuration is just setting up the limits and the ranges and so on. And we can talk about that as well, but that would be also very clear once we look at the results and how QCs can be reviewed. So we have two applications. One is for the setup and one is for the actual QC results. So every time we can get QC results in multiple ways. We can get QC results from the file, right? So if you're thinking about Quant Studio, we can get results from there. We can get results from directly from the instrument, right? If it's a chemistry or if it's AU, for example, we get the results straight from the instrument. The file, the LCMS for toxicology, will get the QCs from the file as well. But let's assume we get the configuration done, and as these results come in, we're going to process them, and they're going to be first available in this QC charts application in the all results. And this application shows all of the QC results, shows the newest results at the top, right? So you open the application, it brings the results up front. If it's if you run it for let's say a UTI or for a tox batch, then you can actually filter by the batch or from the batch review. From results review, you can actually see the results for that batch. But if it's not a batch, let's say it's chemistry, you don't have batches in chemistry, you just have a continuous flow, results keep coming in, then those results will be available in here as well. You can see the results, you can see they passed or they failed, or there is a warning, and you can actually see the last results that were reviewed, right? So in this case, I have these results that had been reviewed, and you can see who reviewed them. We have columns here for who reviewed and when they were reviewed, right? And the review is just a check mark saying, hey, I've looked at these results and they're fine, right? So you can easily select them. Let's say you looked at these are my AU 400, these are my QCs, my lots, everything looks fine. I can just say that I've reviewed them. So the next person, or I know that I don't need to look at these results. And I can see what happens. So let's say I take this one that failed. I can look at the Levi Jennings chart, and I can see the chart, and I can see why it failed. Obviously, this one failed because it is way up high there above my 2 standard deviation, above my 3 standard deviation actually. So you will see, you can see this failure. You can add comments in batch. So if you have multiple that failed that you want to add comments, or you just want to add the comments to all of the QCs for that day, you can easily just select them and do an add comment. So this is more of a day-to-day, batch by batch or instrument by instrument. QCs came in, you've looked at them, they passed, they failed, you select them, and you say that you've reviewed. So this helps with the monthly review, let's say, that you have to do if you check them daily, and obviously you make sure everything has passed and you've reviewed, and you have no surprises at the end of the month. But we have a monthly review as well, that it allows you to look more holistically across your QCs in a month, right? So let's say I want to look at last month. Let's see, do I have this month? I think I had to put in a few. So I'm going to look at this month. I'm going to look at this equipment at my AU, and I'm just going to look at my drugs, and I have no results. So let me go here and just do a different date range. So I should have my drugs here. So I can review these drugs, and I can look at my charts, right? So now I can see, like I mentioned, you can look more holistically for your month at your instruments. So I have my 2 controls only. So for my AU, I only have a low and a high, and I can look at all of my this is an AU, right? So I'm looking at all of my drugs, but chemistry, everything is the same. I look at all of my targets, my analytes, and I can see the charts for them. And I can look at glance and I can see, make sure the charts are fine. And I can see the ones with problem easily, right? So you can look at this one. This is definitely a problem. This is fine, right? So you can easily identify, and you can see the results if you need to. So if I want to see the results for this one, I can just hit results, and this brings me all of the results with the pass, with the failures. I see all of my failed results here, which are obviously these ones here at the top, right? So you can easily see all of your charts. If you have 100 targets, you'll see 100 targets here, and they're all like, you can see we can fit about 5 of these on this screen, which is a normal size screen. You can fit about 5 of them. So if you have 100, you'll have 20 of these. You can just scroll and see them. Obviously, it's based on what I have selected, but usually you will select them all. So if everything looks fine, then you just approve like I did. And what happened there, it generates a PDF, and the PDF is being saved in the system, and you can access that PDF from the history button over here. Meaning, let's say you review January of 2021. In 2022, you have a clear inspection. They want to see your QCs. You can just go to your history here, find the date range, and open up the PDF. And this will bring up the PDF as it was saved at that point. When you approve it, you have all of the QC charts, and then at the end, you have all of the QC results and any comments that you put in. You can see here there is a comment column, all of the comments that you've put in for the QCs that, let's say, they failed or you had warnings. You put a comment that you've retested or whatever. Like in this case, you see this was a rerun, so everything was fine. So you have all of that. Obviously, you can print these ones and have them on paper. I mean, you have the PDF, so you can see who did it and when. And I think we can tweak this one if you need to. We can add information. I honestly not sure if we. I mean, we can. I don't know if there is like a setting or something to show that, because it shows the directory, shows the CLIA. There is some branding that we put as well in here for you to have. There is a signature page if you want to print and sign, but yeah, no, we can add that. Approved and approved date and approved by to be here, so you have that. And I mean that's pretty much it. There are a few options here, like I mentioned, comments. You can also choose to ignore the QCs, right? So for example, I want to say that these ones, well, they're all passed in this case, but I can choose I don't want to have these plotted on my charts. I can choose to ignore and whatever comment I want. You can ignore certain results, and you can put comments. You can change the results. I mean, usual stuff you can do from here. We also have a daily summary report, and I don't know if it's built on this. I can choose my equipment. Let me see when I have results, because I need to actually pick the date of that. 0831. Okay, so if I do my daily, if I go to, I think it was this one, and it was 31st. So let me see if I get that report. I should get this. Can be customized, and this is what gives you your daily summary report for your for that day, right? So usually we have clients that they would print these ones and they would have it, and you can easily see your lots, your QCs, and your range. Is very basic. We can customize this one for you. This is a template that we can easily modify, but it gives you your QC run for the day. If you have retests, comments, any failures, everything would be in here for that instrument. So that's the that is the daily summary. I am not 100% sure the daily approved. This shows you all of the QCs that have been approved and who approved them and when, right? So this gives you your approval. I don't know why this logo is still there. This is an older report, but this gives you the approval, who were approved, what QCs were approved for your instrument and when, right? So you can actually see, you can make sure that you have an approval for every month, right? So this is kind of validating that you've approved everything. But so we have these two reports. Let me close this one. These two reports, the approval report and the daily summary reports that we can customize. And then we have the history that I mentioned, which is your approval history of your monthly results. Yeah, we don't have yet data, but the chemistry is way closer to toxicology than anything else. The UTIs are a little bit different because you do have negative, positive. You might have, it's a little bit different, but chemistry is very similar to this. There is no, besides the target name, which is it would be a chemistry. So you would get the result failure, right? Because they would fail for your monthly. I don't think you would get the charts for the monthly, but you would get the results, pass or fail, right? The actual result and the pass or fail on your approval, right? Based on the, I'm sorry, let me go back here. Based on your, because there are no graphs. You can do a Levi-Jennings chart on qualitative results, right? We need to add a few qualitative results to be able to show that as well. We do support qualitative, expected result, negative, positive. So we do support that, obviously, because you're not always going to get a number for your QC results. We can do the trending rules that, the 12x, when you have 12 results above your mean, let's see, do I have a chart like this one here? This would probably, well, just 5, but let's say you have 6 of these results. That means you're trending below your mean, and then you might still something that you want to investigate. So we can turn that on as a warning. Like this one is good because it goes above and below your mean, but like this one is trending below your mean. So 6x is the first one, 6 results below the mean or above the mean we can turn that on to be a warning. But you know what I mean? We have all of those rules. Even the 2-3S or whatever it's called when it jumps from a below minus to standard deviation to above to standard deviation. So you have a big jump in consecutive results that are more than 3 standard deviations. We can flag those as well, right? So even though they're not a problem, but your QC was below your standard 2 standard deviation, and now the next one is above 2 standard deviation. So that's still a possible thing to investigate. So we have all of those rules in place. Most labs don't turn them on, just the 1-2 standard deviation, which is plus minus 20% of your mean with a standard deviation of 10%. Yeah.